Yes.
Hit that area sign. It's time for Monday Morning Fallout. Monday Morning Fallout, of course, when we overreact to the football weekend, and what a weekend it was. A lot of overreaction to do. Let's get straight to it.
So much.
I want to start off the top here. We are not going to talk Sean Kugler because we're going to have a whole segment at the end of the show about the UTEP coaching change. So that is something that is an aside. 3 big thoughts. Thought number 1, pencils down.
I don't have a pencil. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Last week, and Craig Way said this on High School Scoreboard Live. Last week was statement week. A lot of teams making statements across the state. This week was testing week because we had a lot of teams get pushed. Maybe they didn't lose, but they got big-time tests. Hewitt Midway got pushed by Copperas Cove. Westlake got pushed by Vandergrift and basically lost between if the game ended at 47, 57.
But it didn't, Greg.
They didn't. Yeah, but they got pushed.
They got pushed.
Like Travis got pushed by Buda
For
Hayes
half.
Consolidated. Well, it was third quarter, and that game was real close.
You saw the final score, right?
I did see the final score. They pulled away, but they got pushed.
It was an early test.
They got tested. Yoakum and Hallettsville was a test for both teams, right? Judson got pushed by Steele.
Yep.
Again, Judson was in control. Steele came back, but they got pushed. DeSoto, I think, got tested by Cedar Hill. I think that game was a lot closer than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
21-17 or 21-7?
Which actually makes it harder to figure out what we learned from it.
Right. College Station got pushed big time by Bryan.
Yeah.
Mansfield Lake Ridge got pushed big time by Mansfield Summit. 2 very good teams again. I think that's a test for both teams. China Spring got pushed by Fairfield. Wimberley and Fredericksburg pushed each other in a great game. Gilmer got tested by Nacogdoches.
Yeah.
Madisonville got tested by Lorena. Abernathy got tested by Memphis. Now, the overarching theme is that those teams that got tested won.
Yeah.
And so, for me, when I look at the landscape, I say, all right, this is something just to keep in mind. It's a reminder that no team is invincible. Teams are going to get pushed, and even as we get into district play where it's going to look like there are going to be mismatches, right? Every game matters now that you're in district play, and every game could be the one that sinks your season.
Yeah.
Really could. Because you talk about one district loss where you're not supposed to have it,
right?
Could drop you to a 2 seed or something like that, and then all of a sudden you're facing a much tougher path. So, pencils down, most teams passed their tests. Some didn't. We'll get into some of those, but something to keep an eye on. Thought number 2, shifting the narrative. Whereas last week, I think, kind of reinforced a lot of things we thought about college football in the state, I think this week maybe changed some things and has us rethinking things. Some questions. I wrote about this on TexasFootball.com about the 5 big questions. Is Houston good?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
They're a really good defensive team, but boy, offensively. Ugh.
Is A&M a second-half team? It's so funny because they're big. The one thing we know about A&M this year is that they collapsed against UCLA.
Yeah.
But go look at the rest of their games.
Yeah.
They've been better in the second half. Are they a second-half team? Is Tech a good defense? I know they lost, and I know they gave up 597 yards. But go read my piece on TexasFootball.com. They gave up the same amount of yards to Oklahoma State, but on 16 more plays.
Right.
Which means that they are getting more production defensively.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't go so far as to say they're a good defense,
No.
but they're improved.
They're improved.
For sure.
Is Texas back because of their defense? Like we focus so much on who's taking the snaps. We focus so much on what they're missing offensively in Connor Williams. But go look at this defense. And aside from week one against Maryland, right? Have they been one of the best defensive teams in the nation? Look what they did to USC. Shut them down. Shut out San Jose State. Shut down Iowa State. Something to think about. Shifting the narrative. And number 3, are you listening? We're now 5 games in. We're now 5 weeks into the Texas high school football season. And there are some teams we expected to be undefeated, and they are. Katy, undefeated. Allen, undefeated. Yep. Tenaha, undefeated. Right. Happy, undefeated,
yep.
Right? We expected that.
Yeah.
Here's some teams that we didn't.
Okay.
How about Plano? Plano beat Denton Geyer last week.
Yeah.
And an impressive win for Plano. How about Keller Fossil Ridge?
Yeah, that's a really surprising one. Yeah.
How about Dripping Springs?
Yep.
Dripping Springs, a team to know. Keep an eye on the Tigers. Galen Zimmerman coaching them up down there. What about Tidehaven?
I know. That was a big one.
Takes down East Bernard. Big win for the Tigers. They're 5-0.
Snapped a long district streak for East Bernard.
Yeah, they're 5-0. Pearsall's 5-0. Nakona's undefeated.
Well, that
Jefferson.
defense,
Yeah, Nakona's
Yeah.
playing great ball right now. Jefferson's undefeated.
Yep.
Hale Center is undefeated. Great win over Bovina this past week. Salado is undefeated. Teams we haven't expected that are off to real hot starts. At some point, they are speaking loud enough that it's up to you to hear them. Are you listening? 3 helmet stickers, Max. Helmet sticker to Farmersville running back Cade Twyford. You may recognize the last name. 359 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground in Farmersville's win. What about the biggest helmet sticker of all? Goes to Hardin Simmons running back Jaquan Hemphill. If you didn't pay attention to what they did to East Texas Baptist, okay?
Crazy Town Banana Pants.
He went for 357 total yards of offense. That's a school record. He went for 8 total touchdowns. That's an American Southwest Conference record. And his 48 points ties an NCAA record.
Yeah.
He had 7 rushing touchdowns. That's an American Southwest Conference record. Yeah. Overall, he broke 11 school conference or NCAA records in one game in their big win over East Texas Baptist.
They scored 80 points.
80 points. 80.
80 points.
They kind of needed all of them, too, because what was it, like 80 to like 40?
80 to 42.
42, yeah, I was going to say. They needed them. And a helmet sticker to El Paso Del Valle quarterback Raymond Montez. 348 yards and 2 touchdowns passing, and added another 2 touchdowns on the ground. Great win for El Paso Del Valle. 3 teams to watch. What about Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial?
Yeah.
The newest school in Corpus Christi is 5-0. They've allowed 40 points all year. Their running back Fred Jones is averaging 10 yards a carry. He's got 11 touchdowns on the year in 5 games. Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial team to watch. Tarleton State.
Damn, look at that.
You might have forgotten about them because they lost their opener against Delta State, but since then they have been cruising. They're 4-1. Get a nice win over UT Permian Basin. Zed Werner, their quarterback, off
Marble
to a
Falls
very
finest.
nice start. This past week, very efficient. 11 for 17, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 71 yards rushing. Watch out for Tarleton State. And White Deer. All right. This is the stupidest stat of the week.
All right.
White Deer is 5-0,
Uh-huh.
and they have outscored their opponent. They're a 6-man team, by the way.
Yes.
They're 5-0. They have outscored their opponents 288-0.
Wow.
They have not given up a point yet this year.
Wow. Okay.
The White Deer Bucks are
All right.
5-0, 288-0. They have outscored their opponents.
That's pretty good.
So, 3 teams to watch. 3 teams to worry about. How about Channelview? Channelview, 1-2. They played Clear Creek close last week, and then they kind of got blown out by C.E. King this week. And that is a troubling loss.
Yeah.
So, Channelview, team to worry about. I mentioned them before, Houston. What is this offense? I know they won, but Temple is a trash horse football team.
It was a very bad Temple
And
team.
they almost spit the bit.
There are some really nice pieces here. We've talked about it. I mean, De'Ara King, man.
De'Ara King's awesome.
He's awesome. And the only thing that worries me is he is awesome, but there are points in the game so far where it seems like they don't have any other plan. So it's give the ball to him and hope he does something.
Yeah.
And a lot of times he does.
Yeah.
But that's not really any way to live. Now, I think Postma looked a lot better than Kyle Allen has.
Dude,
But-
but the bottom line of it is, here's the crux of it. Their offensive line's not very good.
Yeah.
And that's really short-circuiting everything they want to do. They've got some talented receivers. I think Linnell Bonner's special. He just hasn't had a ton of opportunities. You're right, De'Ara King kind of an X factor.
Yeah.
And they're staying in games because of defense. But what happens if Ed Oliver goes down for any significant
Yeah.
period of time? He's out. They say he's day-to-day, a sprained MCL.
Yeah.
But if he's out for any significant period of time, then all of a sudden, I mean,
Yeah.
does Houston become an average AAC team? I'm a little worried about them. And Cameron Yo, we said it last week that 1-3, not worried, but if they lose to McGregor, we're going to be worried.
Yeah.
Guess what?
They lost him.
Judd Thrash pulled it off.
Yeah.
And McGregor gets the big win. That offense, the Yo offense just seems stuck in neutral. They're 1-4 right now.
Also, mea culpa to Coach Thrash. We all picked against him.
Oh, yeah. We're idiots.
Hats off.
We're idiots.
Hats off.
That's Monday Morning Fallout.